Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to have more cool comic book slash film slash story discussion fun. This such topic will be about great singer Bessie Griffin. Yes, and I will also be comparing power levels of Bessie Griffin in terms of her powers in music, spirituality, religion, gospel, all of it combined. And of course, she has showcased those illustrious talents through the decades and is much appreciated and admired for doing so. Okay, gospel legendary singer Bessie Griffin, much like many other great iconic gospel singers, had earlier humble beginnings. And like them, Bessie Griffin, that is, grew up in a simple home. It was heavily rooted in gospel music. And I believe she's related to a famous spiritualist minister as a cousin or something. And he had influence over her earlier beginnings, as did he in her household. She is a orphan child, or her mother died when she was very young. It's unfortunate. And then she was raised by her mother's cousin or something like that, a distant cousin, and she was of course made to go to church regularly on a regular basis to get positive motivations into her instead of negativity off the street. So she went to church a record number and a record amount of time as a little girl. She started singing very early. She had no formal vocal training, but her grandma, as she called her, gave her training. And then, of course, when she entered into junior high school, she was so good at singing, she formed a quartet group with three other girls, including herself. And this group was so popular, they toured throughout the South. Yes. So initially, she didn't go into it as a solo recording artist. She joined a group, and then they toured immensely throughout the South. But that wouldn't be the last group that she formed. She eventually joined another group where she formed at least a couple of groups on her own throughout her career. And then she joined the immensely popular Caravans. This was a popular, iconic gospel singing group. They toured internationally as well as domestically and nationally. So she joined them, I believe, for a year, and her popularity in the gospel music scene soared. She became immensely famous singing, and she contributed to the great songs and the successes of that group while she was with them, much like she did while she was with other groups. Okay, let me get into the power levels of this illustrious Bessie Griffin. They said she is an immensely powerful stage performer, very immense. She could stand in one spot and give an hour and a half show from that one spot, and it will be amazing and miraculous. And then she's powerful at connecting to her fan bases during her live performances, where they actually feel and hear her raw power and emotion. She has a powerful singing voice that is interchangeable. And not to mention, she is immensely powerful at bringing gospel music into regular nightclubs. She was very powerful and influential at doing that, because gospel music didn't used to be accepted in regular clubs. But gospel artists like Bessie were instrumental in getting gospel music all over the place, especially the great sounding gospel music songs. Okay, now Bessie, of course, was singing in this quartet group of all females. She left it and joined the very popular Caravan singing group, but not initially. She tried releasing a single before joining a second group, but the single didn't do that well, so she joined the immensely popular Caravans. And of course, the popular, iconic Mahalia Jackson was instrumental in that. She invited her to Chicago, and then once they heard her voice, well, they already knew about her because she had released material and toured the South with her famous popular quartet group. And so Mahalia Jackson and many other members wanted her on the team, in other words, but she didn't sit still with the Caravans. Eventually, she moved on and started recording solo album after solo albums, and many of them were live. I believe she recorded maybe 6 albums, with them being studio albums mostly, and some live albums thrown in there. So she has this, Bessie Griffin, illustrious singer, had a stellar musical career. Okay, let me know how you feel about this one.